There is one final issue that we should consider before moving to our treatment of the right to privacy, or the right of free worship, or the right of free speech, or any of the specific civil liberties rights. None of these rights have ever been taken by either our society in general or the courts in particular to be absolute. We have always recognized that the government may impose reasonable restrictions on an individual's rights, provided the broader interests of the community are at stake. And there are some obvious cases. For example, you cannot drive around a residential neighborhood at 3 a.m. blasting some message via a public address system and then successfully argue when the police cite you for disturbing the peace that the First Amendment protects your right of free speech. The right of free speech does not mean that you can say anything you want, anytime you want. We have always permitted government to impose reasonable time, manner, and place restrictions on that right. Similarly, the right of free worship does not give one the right to practice human sacrifice and claim immunity from prosecution because the practice is prescribed by his religious beliefs. As I said, these are obvious cases, but most of the civil liberties issues we shall discuss are not so clear-cut. So it is helpful to try to bear in mind that what the courts attempt to do is draw a line between the perceived rights of the individual on the one hand and the interests of the community on the other hand. With most civil liberties issues, it is generally incumbent on the government to demonstrate that it has an interest at stake that is so compelling that it justifies restricting the right of the individual. Since so many of the issues we will discuss arise under the police power of the state governments, that is, the power to protect public safety and morals, the Due Process Clause of the 14th Amendment and the doctrine of selective incorporation are critical to our understanding of the court's efforts at line drawing.